So there's a new documentary that's taken a deep dive into the success and struggles of the musical Carter family.
Yeah, they were propelled into the spotlight by their musical careers. And we're talking about Nick and Aaron Carter, and now they're sharing the story.
So joining us now is Aaron Carter's twin sister, Angel Carter Conrad, and the director of the documentary, Soleil Moon Frye. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Okay, so I first want to ask you, because Soleil, I love that you are part of this project as a child actress, former child actress yourself, made wonderful strides, hugely celebrated. To be able to tell this story about the Carter family, because they were child celebrities to the fullest, and what happens when families have so much, notoriety at such a young age.
Thank you. I had actually worked with Aaron when he was just this bubbly, vivacious young boy, and he was just amazing and lit up the world around him. So when I met Angel, it was so important to me to create a safe space for her to share her journey, and also for us to do a documentary that dealt with mental health and addiction that touches so many of our lives.
And why was it important to bring this story to what we would call the small screen?
Absolutely. I mean, I felt a deep moral responsibility to this exquisite woman who has done such meaningful work with her life and has taken so much trauma and pain and turned it into purpose.
Yeah, and for me, it was really, I mean, multiple things, but, initially it was standing up for the Carter family children. And, all my siblings who have passed away, they all have little children. And I wanted to teach them a life lesson here, which is that good things are going to happen to you, bad things are going to happen to you. And it is your choice at the end of the day to focus on the good and the bad, and really capture that, and to not allow these things to define you and to define your future.
Yeah. Angel, I want to ask you, because you and Aaron, the babies of the family, and then you've got your older brother Nick, who started off, with the Backstreet Boys and all the success that brought. There's a moment in the documentary where the two of you are talking, and he feels, basically protective of his younger siblings, and he's very emotional about it. I mean, you both are very emotional. What's it like to be so vulnerable, so open with your entire family?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I think it's a gift to be able to have that openness about us, and to share it with the world, and to not have any shame around it. But that moment between Nick and I was so healing, and it was so needed. And I love that this documentary and sharing our story, and Soleil being this incredible vessel for us, gave us that opportunity for Nick to even dive in a little bit deeper, and for us to be able to share that. I look at it as if it's this incredible gift.
Yeah.
You're watching it in real time, the way that it actually happened, because this has always been Angel's story. It started as Angel's story, and those moments that you see, it was actually literally, it was shot on my iPhone, the early footage, and then we got to capture this incredible experience between them in the park together. And so the audience is really witnessing it the way that it happened, as we experienced it.
There's so many layers, obviously, when it comes just to family, and then of course Hollywood. But I happen to be the age where, in terms of the teen heartthrobs, I got to be the big fan of Nick, but also Aaron, right in between the two. But for you guys, what advice would you give anybody watching who might believe the Hollywood lifestyle is kind of this, coveted thing, and that's what they want, but then there's some fears there as well? What would you say?
I think please watch this documentary. You see the layers, and having grown up in the business and having had an amazing family where I was able to be a kid, some of my friends have gone on to have incredible, flourishing families and careers, and some of my friends didn't make it out. And so I really hope this provides some insight into what that world can look like.
Yeah, and Soleil being able to share this story, and being a child star herself, she had a different perspective that, I could do only so much as his sister, and obviously sharing our family story, but really she brought a different set of lens into it that needed to be told, because it is such a unique experience, and so few people have gone through it. but it can be very isolating. And, you know, I think that making sure that Aaron's story was told the right way was critical in making sure that we save people's lives ultimately.
Absolutely. And also, I think, you know, to what end do we oftentimes push our iconic, beloved, you know, artists? And
Sure.
I mean, we can
Yeah.
go down the list and talk about the incredible musicians, the incredible actors, the incredible athletes that have faced so much. And I think there's a question around like to what point do people get to that is a breaking point at
Yeah.
times. And so having a deeper empathy for each other. And that can be someone that's performing in front of the camera, and it can be someone that is struggling at home behind closed doors.
Yeah. Well, these are all human beings, right, that we're talking about at the end of it. So you can catch the entire thing. It is streaming on Paramount Plus today. The Carters, Hurts to Love You. Thank you so much for your time this morning, ladies.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Soleil Moon Frye loved Punky Brewster as a kid. So it's so cool to see her being able to use this side of her, professionalism to tell this story.
Her face looks exactly the same.
I know. She's
Beautiful
gorgeous,
as ever. Yeah.
Gorgeous.